So I'd like to start to the beginning of your career from Clemson to today. What player and what man is right now Jaron Blossomgame?
Completely different person and player. Completely different. I've grown a lot in my game. I've grown a lot off the court as well. I think being in Europe for so long now, this is my sixth year. I think I've grown much more now than I did, early on in my career. Because making that transition from the American style basketball and coming over to Europe is completely different. For example, I remember my first year in Israel. I played on a team in Nahariya, it's like an hour and a half north of Tel Aviv. We were terrible, but that season taught me a lot. In the beginning of the year, the team wanted to cut me within like 2 months, and it was like crazy. I ended up staying the whole year and like developed a lot mentally, physically, but just the game itself, like I struggled a lot. Like I couldn't quite grasp it because it's completely different style wise than playing in America. But I've learned and developed over time. And my next year, I played in Germany in the Euro Cup, and then the year after that, I was in the EuroLeague. So consistently made jumps year by year. So I changed a lot mentally more so than my game because my game is what it is. I'm athletic. I can defend. I can rebound. Out in transition. So as far as like the basketball portion of it, not much has changed, but more so the mental of like learning the game and understanding how to read certain things and different coverages and things like that.
And from 2017 to 2020, you tried the opportunity to play in the NBA in these years. And do you have maybe any regrets in something, or could things maybe gone differently, especially after the best games, the best season in G League that you had?
No, I don't regret anything, to be honest. So I was drafted in 17, 59th pick, second to last by San Antonio. The agreement was if they picked me, I would play in the G League for their team that year. We ended up winning a EuroLeague champion. I'm not sorry, not EuroLeague. Hopefully this year, a G League championship that year. I didn't have an opportunity to get called up by anybody because the Spurs withheld my draft right. So I couldn't get called up by any team. And they already made it clear to me I wasn't getting called up by them that year. So I chilled in the G League all year. I ended up finishing third team all G League. So that next year I was assuming like, all right, I'm gonna get an NBA opportunity at some point. Ended up signing a two-way deal with the Cavaliers. At the time, the team wasn't good at all, so I was up able to play like immediately. I think my second or third game I started. I think it was my third game I started. It was crazy because they threw me right in the fire. I remember my first game we played. Well, sorry, second game, but first game I played in actually was against Sacramento. Coach Larry Drew put me in at the end of the first quarter, and he put me at the end of every quarter. And I finished the game with zero of everything, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't play in the NBA. Like it's too much. I can't figure it out. And then the next game they started me out of nowhere. I'm like, what's going on? Started me, ended up having 6 and 6. I played well. Teammates started to like gel with me, understand who I was as a player. Spent the whole year with Cleveland, and then the next year I was back in the G League. Not that I regret it, but looking back on my career, I always say I should have left for Europe after that year instead of going back to the G League and then going after, because your name's different when you're coming off of an NBA contract versus coming out of the G League. Everyone knows that in Europe, if you're coming from an NBA team, you'll get more money, better opportunities, better clubs, all that stuff. So looking back, yeah, I could say I wish I left after my second year, but I didn't. And it's all part of the process and all part of the journey. Ended up going to Israel my first year out. And like I said, it was a learning experience for me. But I love European basketball. I mean, this is my sixth year here, like I said. I mean, I wouldn't change anything about the journey so far.
And you still thinking about it, or you're totally focused on your
It's
European career?
it's below zero about thinking about going back over there. Zero. Yeah. I don't even want to live in America when I'm done playing. I'm just adjusted, and I think the lifestyle of Europe more so fits my lifestyle. I don't know. If my family weren't over there, I'll probably never go back.
And why did you choose Ironi Nayeri,
Naharia,
exactly,
Naharia. Yeah, yeah.
in Israel in 2020 to begin your career in Europe?
So I was in the G League when COVID happened, and I was playing on Chicago's G League team, and the whole world shut down. I ended up going to Miami like immediately after everything shut down because like Florida was only the one of the only places in America where things were like somewhat open still due to all the restrictions and everything. So I went down to Florida to go start training for summer league because at that point you don't know what's going to happen, whether the NBA season will resume or they'll just go straight to summer league and like resume the next season. So I go to Miami to start training for summer league, and then they announced the bubble's going to happen, I possibly thought my name would be in some of the categories for a player who got selected to go play in the bubble because, they were picking from pools of players who didn't have COVID or who was healthy enough to play or who was still playing. So still in Miami training, waiting for the call because it was in Orlando, which is like a 2-hour flight away. So I'm training in Miami and they announced they canceled Summer League. So I'm like, okay, now what? Like I'm in Miami since February or March and now it's like late July and I'm texting my agent like, all right, like what are our options overseas? So I had an offer from a team in Italy and a team in Israel, 2 offers. And I chose the one in Israel because it was slightly a bit more money. So that's how I ended up in Israel. Yeah.
More honest than possible.
Yeah.
And then the following season, Ulm was maybe the definitely step in your career in Germany.
Yeah. It was a great season. They actually, I was going to sign there mid-season from my season in Israel. They were interested in me, and I wanted to go. Obviously, it didn't work out that way. And then in the summer, I spoke with Jaka Lakovic, the coach at the time, and immediately we hit it off. And it felt right for me to go there, considering they liked me for so long. I don't know. I felt like I made the right decision, and then obviously getting there and how things turned out, it was the right decision. I had a great season individually. I think as a team, we also had a great year as well. Another part of the journey for me that was the right step, and I'm happy I made that step.
From 2022, Monaco. I'd like to start talking about non-basketball things. What is for a professional player living in Monte Carlo? You enjoy, you like it?
It's unreal, to be honest. I try to explain it to my friends back home, like what Monaco is and like how it feels when you experience it. And I just told them like it feels like everywhere you go, you're on a movie set because like everything is so perfect. Whether it's like the plants over here or the architecture on the building, or the restaurants, or even the service of when you go out, the restaurants is like perfect and it's completely different than anything I've ever experienced before. And now this is my 4th year there now, and it still surprises me, to be honest. Like it doesn't get old. Got a very nice apartment where I live, very nice view. Everything's perfect there, honestly. Life is perfect. Basketball aside, it does help when your team is good at basketball for sure. But outside of basketball, it's a great place, to be honest. A lot of nice people, great place to network. You can meet all types of people from all types of places and different career fields as well. So it's a great place to network. But yeah, I recommend Monaco to anybody.
Yeah, I saw something on your Instagram, and
Yeah.
I understand that it's very, very nice. And talking about basketball, what is playing for a legend, a living legend like your coach, Vasilis Panouris?
It's great. Honestly, it's great. He's a very passionate guy, a guy who's won at the highest level. So he understands what it takes to win, And you can feel that and you can see that when you talk to him. And you can hear it in his voice that how he really believes in me and believes in our team. And when he says these things, we can actually feel it, A lot of people talk, a lot of coaches talk and say different things, but like when he speaks to us, we can feel it. So when he tells us he believes in us and he understands what we can do as a team, we know that where he's been and what type of teams he's been on, the players he's played with. If he thinks of us as that high, it only gives us confidence to understand that, he genuinely, truly believes in us and wants what's best for us. So it's been great. He came mid-season last year, didn't understand what kind of team he was getting, and I think he did an incredible job. Obviously, everyone knows we were a couple points away from a EuroLeague championship, but now he's had his full summer with this team, and obviously preseason. Actually, he didn't have a preseason because he was with the Greek national team, but he got to pick some players and kind of build the team that he wants. I think the sky's the limit for this group we have here. I'm excited to have him as a coach for a second season. Great to see what we can do this year.
From Obradovic to Spanoulis, but always in the Final Four with both coaches, and always closer to winning the trophy, to being the best teams in Europe. What do you see similar and what do you see different between the two coaches you have?
Sasha is old school. He's old school Serbian. He's like being on your phone and things like that, and like laughing on game day and things like that. Like he doesn't play that stuff, Very, very focused guy, very locked in. And like once you're around him for long enough, you kind of understand like how to behave in front of him. I remember like typically I'm the type of person I'm always laughing, funny, charismatic. Everything's funny to me. I want to smile and everything. But he's just like so opposite of that. So it took a little bit of getting used to, with him because he's just so focused and so locked in on, basketball, and he lives and breathes it every day. So I think around maybe 3, 4, 5 months of the season, probably half of the season, I kind of understood, what he wanted from me and how to behave, because I never played at the EuroLeague level, to be honest. And it's a huge jump, from the Euro Cup or any other league. It's just different. And I think one of the main aspects of it well, one of the main components is the mental part of it. There's so much mental preparation that goes into the game, and as we all know, every game in EuroLeague matters, so all the details matter. So he's a very detail-oriented guy. I mean, Spinoulis as well. I think they both have some things that they both share in common. But Spinoulis is, he's finished playing within the last 5 years, so he's a player's coach, and he understands us more. We're a younger generation, and things are different. He doesn't mind if we're laughing or on our phones and stuff because he was obviously playing more recently. But they're both great coaches. We've had success with both of those guys, but it's been great to be able to play for both of those guys.
And the French league has grown a lot in the last years. As well, with a great president like Tony Parker, and Paris, with every year getting better. How do you see this growth of the league, and what do you like of the opponents? Is something that you enjoy watching, or something into the court, outside the court?
The growth of the league has been great, honestly. I mean, as you see more and more, you have more young prospects going to the NBA from the French league, where we had Zach, I don't know how to say his last name, but we had Zach from Borg, plays for the Hawks now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was there, and then the guy from Cholet was a lottery pick as well, and then obviously Victor the year before. There's a lot of good young talent, in the French league. I think they had 3 or 4 players drafted last year. There's another player from Le Mans last year drafted. I forget their names, but it's a league that's growing, and it's a league that's respected, from the NBA, considering how many guys are being selected every year. So the overall talent is getting a lot better. It's challenging sometimes, when you look up and you see some of these EuroLeague teams play their domestic league, and it's always a blowout. For us, we're playing like genuinely good teams. So the schedule is very tough, it's very demanding. Obviously, like we have a double week this week, and on the weekend we go to Lyon for Asvel. And the last weekend we had Paris. So essentially 4 EuroLeague games in 1 week. But we're built for it. We're ready for it. Obviously we didn't win it last year, so we're motivated to do so this year. But overall, the league is great. It's a lot of good teams, a lot of good players, a lot of great coaches as well. So it's great to see the emergence of Paris and what they've done in the EuroLeague last year. And, obviously, since they're a new club, they've experienced a lot of success early on. So it's great overall for the club, and it's great for French basketball.
Yeah, and I watched the game last Sunday. It was very nice game, very enjoyable game from outside. A lot of good basketball. NBA EuroLeague, there was the eternal diatribe here. Who loves one, who loves the other? But do you think that it will be from enemies to friends in a close future? What will be the future of European basketball in your mind? What do you think will happen?
I think the moment the NBA comes to Europe, there's going to be a ton of pushback on the fans. Even if the product is great, the fans are going to hate it anyway, just because it's not, it's different. But I think eventually they'll be more open to it. I think the players are open to it. The players are happy about it. I think the fans are probably the only ones who, don't want to accept it. But, it's coming at some point. I don't think they want to change EuroLeague and its culture too much because, EuroLeague does have such a rich culture. And a lot of these teams have incredible fan bases and a lot of history. So I don't think you can have a league in Europe without some of those, big time clubs with huge histories and fan bases. It would be really, really different. I expect the first couple of seasons though, when that does happen, like I don't think I think it'll be a lot of pushback, honestly. I think it'll be a lot of pushback from a lot of people, but I think the players are happy about it. Once again, it's another opportunity for players to play, more teams for players to get selected to. And I would assume it's more money also. So I think it's a win-win for all the players.
From NBA to EuroLeague and the EuroLeague to NBA, what would you steal from one competition to the other? If you have something that
That's a
you
great
think is good.
question. I prefer the EuroLeague atmosphere better as far as like the fan support. It gives more of so I played at Clemson University, obviously. So we're playing at North Carolina, Duke, Louisville, Syracuse, all like the big time blue blood schools. Yeah. So I'm used to playing in environments where people are crazy the whole game. And in the NBA, it's more of an event. You have a handful of teams who have great fan bases, but in EuroLeague, it's every game matters. The fans are passionate. It's really a hostile environment they create. I mean, you can look at a couple of arenas that we have in EuroLeague, and it's some of the best environments that I've ever played in. And I think that aspect could be better I don't think you can replicate that in America, to be honest. I think the people just have a different passion over here. for sports.
Different cultures.
Yeah, it's different cultures. I mean, people love NFL football in America, but even that, like the fan support's not the same. But if you see football and like soccer in Europe, the fan support is just completely different, you know. So I would probably say that the fan support is just completely different. So I mean, you could probably switch those, but they're once again, it's such a different game over there. It's a different game over here. So I think they're both beautiful in their own aspects, but they're completely different.
In 2015, Clemson, 2025, Monaco, and 2035.
It's a long time from now. Probably retired. Probably
Where
retired.
will you see in 10 years?
Retired for sure. Family.
Always in the basketball world?
In the basketball world?
Or
retired. I'm 32 years old. 32 years
yeah, but
old. Yeah.
Also working in basketball. You see,
I don't know.
coaching
I
or
don't
something
know.
like that.
Possibly coaching, but you know, I don't know. I don't know.
You didn't think
I've ever since I became like a basketball player, since I was like, everyone's a basketball player when they're a kid, you know, but I didn't start taking it serious till I was like 14 or 15. And like since then, I dedicated myself and so much time to basketball that my life is all basketball all the time. So like coming over to Europe, my season is 10 months long. And when I go home in the summer, I'll take like a week off. And then after that, I'm back on a schedule of like my training. I'm very organized. I'm very structured when it comes to like my body in basketball. So I don't really have an off season technically. Like it's been my life, my whole life. So like when I stop, I'm probably going to be done with it completely. Yeah. But I do love the game. So like, it's hard for me to say right now, you know?